Okay, so this is a quick tour to give you a good idea of how to improve your online presentations. We'll look at the content, at the slides, we'll look at the audio and how it can be improved, and we'll look at the video quality. So let's start with the slides. Slides should be simple. Slides should deliver a bit of background, really just focus on the most important things, but the focus of the audience should be on the speaker, should be on you. Otherwise, you can just distribute books, printouts, PDFs. So don't draw too much attention away from what you are saying, or if there is a really important slide, then stop speaking and give people time to read. A typical slide may well look like this. There is way too much text, there's way too much color, things are underlined and fat, bold, and there are bullet points all over. So please try to simplify things. I've taken this slide as an example and simplified it in this way. Yeah, same content, I promise. I've reduced from sentences to keywords. I have removed all the noise that was around the important words. So if you remove the noise, if you remove the text, then you don't have to, underline words, and you don't have to color them. I mean, fair enough, there are scenarios where you do need one color to mark a specific word. In that case, try to stay in the same color family. As you can see, such a dark red still does the job pretty well in a dark blue gray surrounding. As a linguist, please use active voice. Yeah, don't use passive voice. That is complicated for your listeners to process. And as somebody dealing with PowerPoint for too long already, I would suggest you leave out the bullet points. I know you start a new slide in PowerPoint and there you go, bullet points. But you don't have to use bullet points. You can just use line breaks. As you can see here, I don't miss any bullet point. Yeah, so that's another way to simplify your slides. Then I would say, if you keep to conveying one central idea on one slide, 5x5 should be enough. Yeah, maximum 5 words, maximum 5 lines, or 5 bullet points if you insist on using bullet points. Yeah, but honestly, 3x3 might be nice. Yeah, but okay, sometimes you just have to. So I understand, and I would say 5x5 is a good compromise. Instead of filling your slide with words, you can just use images. Yeah, so those images here are just taken from the symbol set from the Unicode, or call it emojis, that you find inside your font. Yeah, so here I'm using the Open Sans, a very nice font, I believe, and has got lots of symbols. And you can use those symbols, and you can increase the font size as you need it, and you can adjust the color as you need it. So that's a very elegant way of using simple images in your text. Sometimes you do need text. Yeah, obviously there are, I already mentioned the keywords. Names should be spelled out. You want to give references during your presentations. Sometimes you will need a quote that you really need to get right. And worst case, there might be longer definitions that you want to present. So I took this first paragraph on sustainability from Wikipedia, and you will realize that you're not listening closely anymore because you're trying to read the text in the background, and it's not very legible. So if you feel that you have to have so much text, then please format it in 2 columns. That's easier to read. And when I start reading the text, sustainability is a societal goal that broadly aims for humans to safely coexist on planet Earth over a long time. Specific definitions of sustainability are difficult to agree on, and we realize that you have already come to the point where my head is blocking your way while I am still stuck reading halfway. Therefore, do not read out your slides. You are typically dealing with professional readers, with academics, and those people are reading so much faster than you will be able to read out loud, so just don't do it. My favorite tea towel. Yeah, if you can keep it if you like. And that's the key message really for the slides. Yeah, don't put too much text on the slides and don't read it out aloud because you are going to lose the attention of your audience. Coming to the audio. Yeah, so typically you don't realize whether you have good or bad audio. You are staring at the screen all the time, so you know whether you look good, but do you sound good? Well, I think we need to try to find out what sounds good and what doesn't sound good. And yeah, to do so, here is a little setting. I'm sitting in a very quiet room with a sofa and curtains, and there is little external disturbance. I have switched off the sound optimization of Zoom, so you're getting the direct sound and all the disturbances when I shovel around and use the keyboard. But to deliver a more standardized disturbance, if I may say so, I'll go to YouTube and start some coffee background noise. I wanted to prepare this, but somehow I closed the window. That is silly. Okay. So there you go. This is our background noise. I'll keep it at this level all the time with the different microphones so you can reasonably compare the quality of the microphones. Zoom will usually try to suppress the background noise, but you will also notice that the sound quality is reduced when Zoom is working hard in the background to remove the noise. Yeah, so this is why I have added this coffee sound. Now I'll switch to my built-in microphone. So this is my built-in microphone on the Dell laptop. It's a nice laptop, good for writing text, good for carrying around, very robust. But you realize that the microphone does pick up a lot of the room sound, and the voice quality is not really convincing compared to a good microphone that we had before. The next step would usually be my that I could connect just because I still found them. So
Yeah, the AirPods are connected now, and I must say that this was the most disappointing bit of this little tryout session. The sound comes out very mumbles, very dull. There is less room sound picked up compared to the built-in microphone. Um, yeah, the price is, I mean, if you have them anyway, okay, but for more than 100 euros still for a first generation AirPod, the performance is just bad on something like recordings, podcasts, lectures online. I would say we'll just not do that.
okay, so magically you see I've put on different earphones. Those are over-ear headphones. They are wireless. They are very comfortable, and they have really good noise canceling. But honestly, the microphone was a bit of a disappointment. So the voice isn't really good. The room sound, there's still quite a lot of room sound being picked up. And the price for 280 euros, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are really good for traveling. And if you want to work in a noisy area, but don't buy them and don't use them for anything like such a recording that we are doing right now. Yeah, and yet another headphone. This time it's an old wired headset that I found in the drawer where I keep the old chargers and cables for my telephones. So this was a mobile phone for my kids like 6 years ago, and basically those headphones didn't cost me anything, but I looked it up. Those are ear pods, about 2016, and if you want to buy them now brand new, they cost 12 euros. So a very cheap solution, and probably you still have some of them flying around somewhere. And yeah, surprisingly, this was a real surprise winner, right? The sound is pretty good. There is less room sound being picked up, and the price is ridiculously good. So this is my top recommendation if you don't want to spend any further money on improving your sound. And finally, finally, we are switching back to my preferred microphone. That's the Razer. It's a typical podcaster microphone. It costs 90 euros, 100 euros. Plus, you'll need a microphone stand to make sure that the microphone is very close and it's really, I'm touching it now. Yeah, so the microphone is just outside the camera frame, and that is an important factor to make sure it doesn't pick up too much room sound, and the voice is very nice, I believe. But of course, it does cost a bit of money. So yeah, that was my overview across different sound options, different microphones. I've switched off the background noise. So I would say we have a very clear distribution. The built-in microphone is just an emergency solution. The wired headphones, just any of them really, those here, those old ones, yeah, they are the surprise winner of this contest. And if you want to go the extra mile, of course, a good microphone is always cool. Yeah. So don't go wireless. Take a cheap wired microphone or invest in a good microphone. And added information, make sure that the distance between the microphone and your mouth is pretty close to minimize background disturbance and to minimize echo. Cool. And we move on to videos. Yeah, recommendation for videos. Well, once again, I will present a no-cost solution to you, which is pretty cool. But typically, let's begin with one issue that we probably all know. We have, let me switch the camera. We have that issue that most people will give their presentations in a way like this. So the camera is mounted somewhere on the laptop and you look down at the laptop and it's just a weird perspective, which can be improved a lot if you just raise your laptop and put it on a few books. And if you, maybe a bit further away, that would be a perfect conversation on eye level. Yeah, so I really appreciate people who use a few books and raise their laptops. Then the second issue that you notice pretty often is that people are sitting in front of a window. Yeah, and this is a good camera, but it doesn't stand a chance if you're sitting in front of a window. So just make sure that you move around. Yeah, so that's the same camera, same distance and everything, but it's just, I just turned around 180 degrees, and that is just a huge improvement in quality. Finally, if you're staring at a wall like I do, you will, what could you do then to, let me just move back to my standard camera. So what can you do to improve the quality, the lighting here? Yeah, you just switch on a light behind the camera, behind your laptop. That's the most important thing, light-wise. Make sure that the light is coming from behind the camera, from behind the laptop. That's really important. Otherwise, you do look all dark and people can't really recognize any facial expression. Now, a little comparison of of cameras, because of course I have tested my integrated camera. So the Logitech StreamCam, no, that's the integrated webcam. Yeah, there it is. So that's the webcam that is built into my computer. It's a bit like the built-in microphone, right? It does work, but it does not really produce anything like a nice image or something. So the next step was that I decided, okay, to buy a proper camera. That's the Logitech StreamCam. So you can see very clear picture, very nice light. I really like it. But of course, 90 euros is quite a bit of money. And I promised you there would be a no-cost solution. And the no-cost solution, that's surprisingly my old mobile phone. Yeah, the phone is 4.5 years old. Nothing too fancy, and the screen is broken, but the camera typically is way better than anything that you find in a mobile, in a computer or in an external camera. Yeah, so we all have these good cameras lying around with our phones. All you need to do, you install one of those 3 free apps online. You can scan and download. You need one program, one app for the computer and one for the telephone, and then you connect the phone to the computer with a cable, and that's really it. All three apps are working on Android and on iPhone, on Windows and on a Mac. Finally, judging by my own experience, there are two things. Remove the phone cover. The phone will get warm, and with the cover it might get hot and stop recording. And secondly, get a reliable cable. So the cable should fit tightly into your mobile phone, otherwise the connection will break and then your recording is lost. Yeah, so that's a really cool camera option, really good quality, way better than the Logitech, and typically it doesn't cost you anything. So, final wrap up of this session: slides, less text, more images. Audio, get a wired headset or microphone. Don't use Bluetooth. That doesn't work, at least not at this time. And for the camera, for the video quality, aim for eye level. And if you're not satisfied with the camera that you have, just use your phone. And finally, don't read out your slides. Don't forget. Now, enjoy and make better presentations next time.